I have to mention then, I had lunch with Jack today, who, if you're not super familiar with our company, it's a guy we work with.
Dude, he listens to this. Did you know that?
He listens to the podcast, which A, makes me uncomfortable and is a little weird. But B, he likes to talk to me about it. He told me that this last episode, so maybe it wasn't, I don't know. The episode that just came out this week, not that we're talking about, the one before, that Gavin said the funniest thing he's ever said in his life. And you and I completely and totally missed it, Andrew, and glossed over it and didn't give it the reverential respect it deserves. Apparently, we were talking about judge stuff. Gavin said he would be Judge Gavel, which is a very funny thing to say. And I don't remember it at all, and I guess we blew through it. And even on my listen through, I didn't hear it. So, Gavin, congratulations. Jack thought that was a very funny moment, and I'm sorry I didn't give you the space.
He texted me that, and I didn't even remember saying it because no one reacted to it. I went back to find it, and no one says anything. And to me, I assume I just throw it out, as a throwaway comment, like it's better than silence. But I wasn't super proud of it.
It tickled Jack to the point where he had to.
Oh, I love that.
He had to bring it up today. I thought that was interesting.
Were you just looking at him like, huh?
I was kind of like, oh yeah, funny. He's like, you didn't react then. You don't know what I'm talking about. I'm like, yeah, okay, you're right. Judge Gavel. Good on you, Gavin.
Hey, thanks.
See, because your name is Gavin, and we call you silly names like Gaver, Gavel, whatever.
Yeah.
And then a judge bangs a gavel, so it's funny on multiple layers.
Oh, is that what that thing's called? It's a gavel?
It's called a gavel, yeah.
Oh, it's what I was going for.
It was a twofer, but Andrew and I, we considered it an ofer, apparently, because we didn't even notice.
I think you did notice. It just wasn't worth commenting on.
I remember it.
Yeah, that's my point, right? You heard me say it, and you thought, huh.
Is this an episode where we're going to analyze what Jack thinks is really funny? Like, we're just going to talk about the jokes that land for him and how good they are?
This is now turning into an indictment on Jack's taste.
No, it's not at all an indictment on Jack's taste. It's just, it's funny. We're going into the weeds on Jack's opinions.
I'm going to be texting him every week. I'll be like, what do you think about that one?
What's
a new segment, Jack's favorite line of the week.
We should have Jack on one time, and he'll just be like, here's the funny thing that was said.
A recap episode?
What if we turn it on him? What if we have him on for 30 seconds, and he has to say something funnier than we've ever seen?
All I can think of is Jay and In-Betweeners going...
Yeah. Doing a bit of a crazy frog.
Oh, man. Shout out to Buckley there.
I'm so excited to listen to Andrew every week. I literally hear him for about an hour a week. And to the fact that half the shit he says I don't hear is disturbing to me.
I will say I appreciate you bringing that moment up because I did some work. I have a lot of stuff prepped for this episode. I have a lot to talk about. But one of the things I did, Jeff, a few weeks ago, we recorded a bunch in advance, so this is going to be a little weird, went on this whole thing about Jack's moment. Jack loved the gavel line by Gavin. Judge Gavel.
Superfan
Absolutely.
Jack, as
Superfan
we call him.
Jack, yes, exactly, as we call him. Loved the gavel line. So I asked Jack, could he give us a moment, his favorite moment of the last episode, and that was the moment. The Minority Report scene, Jack moment, he scales it 7.5. That's a 7.5 Jack moment of the week. So just anyone keeping track. Judge Gavel's a 9, just so we have the scale. But
Jack really loves the shit that gets no reaction whatsoever.
He does. He's a big fan of it. I believe he said it gave him a solid chuckle or 2, but that is a 7.5 on the Jack scale of, I guess, missable moments.
That's funny. It's funny you say that because Jack invited me to something this weekend, and then I thought, well, that's a sure sign that it's going to rain. So I don't even know that we could do a day of. Like, fuck, dude.
Is Jack still a super fan? Did he retire?
He's not retired. He's fighting his way back.
Oh, okay.
He's a really good fan.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's I don't know that I would declare him a super fan again just yet.
See.
But
on the chart, he's on the way there.
Yeah. How often do you text somebody a statement of fact and never expect an acknowledgement? Gavin, if you don't text me and then expect me not to respond to you.
Well, it's different when it's like, I view that as like a show text. I don't view that as like a friend group text. I view
Andrew, if you said, boy, do I have a fire extinguisher story to tell you guys next week, I would go, can't wait. Ooh, that's exciting. Okay. I'll make sure we cover it. Whatever.
Jeff, I do want to apologize.
Also, by the way, I the one person that does still talk to me, and therefore because that person still talks to me, I'm elevating him back to superfan right now. Superfan Jack.
Oh,
I
he's
had
back.
coffee. I had coffee this morning with Fan Jack, but this afternoon, looking back on it, during that coffee, he became Superfan Jack again because he fucking showed up and talked to me, which was nice.
And is he up to date on face?
Superfan Jack is up to date on face. Superfan Jack was very upset and thinks that Andrew is lying about setting off the fire extinguisher at all and demanded photography.
Oh.
Yeah, I only saw a picture of his bag.
Yeah, I only saw a picture of a bag either. And I was like, no, Andrew wouldn't do that.
My
he was
phone
like,
was dead.
Jack was like, I don't trust his performance. I listened to it a couple times. I think he's lying. I think he made it all up. And I was like, well, the basket thing was great. I thought that was even funnier. And he's like, yeah, basket thing was great, but you need to get to the bottom of that because Andrew's lying. And I defended you, Andrew. I defended you, but I don't know why.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know what you want. That was over 2 weeks ago. I don't know. Like, it went off. It wasn't as big as I wanted.
I'm just letting you know what the people are saying. That's all. I don't want anything.
Jack is saying, not the people.
I read some tweets. As well.
Okay. The people. Who are these people?
There were a
Jeff,
few tweets.
outside of Jack. How did this get Jack back in the superfan status?
I already told you. I explained it like 3 times.
Well, he talked to you. Is that it? I will
Yeah.
say, I do
Yeah,
apologize.
he paid attention to me.
Well, I
was
did.
lonely.
In your defense, it does look bad when I look back at our group text right now. I remember my thoughts each time I saw these texts.
That's the thing, yeah. I reply in
my
head.
defense, it looks like what it was. Yeah.
Thursday, Jeff tweets a photo. This is the thing. You tweeted a photo about a thing you're working on, and it looked like a fucking time machine to me. I didn't know how to process it. And I just, internally, I was like, that's cool. Then Jeff on Friday, boy, do I have a surprise dental story for you guys next week. No reply. I think that we need to have a serious review over Superfan Jack and his Superfan status.
Oh, dude, don't worry. I'm right there with you. Guess who's... So tomorrow, we're, if we want to place where this exists in the timeline, we are recording this at 3:03 p.m. Central Time, June 24th, 2021. And tomorrow is the second face break shit, and Jack has already backed out.
Already backed out.
He's already backed out. He did, but... The Jack's credit, he backed out 3 days early.
Yeah, that's true. I
Not
will
3
give
minutes
him all
early.
the credit in the world that he did not do it day of.
He didn't do it moment of, which is appreciative. But I'm prepared. I'm prepared to hear any talk regarding demotion of said super fandom. I ratchet him back up as a show of good faith.
I think
and
he's
goodwill.
nervous. I think he doesn't
Yeah.
want to. I think he doesn't ever want to be in face anything. It's a lot of pressure. We've talked about him so much as the super fan. He would have to deliver super fanness, and maybe he's not capable.
I don't see how we could continue to give him superfan status. He's 0 for 2 on these break shit streams. We
Yeah.
have moved our podcast. We've not recorded our podcast for his podcast. I bought him a cameo from his favorite, his number one, his favorite person.
Dude.
I got him We've done a lot for Superfan Jack.
I made
Never
him his
appeared
own
here.
T-shirt. I've
You
never
made him a
made you a
t-shirt.
T-shirt. I never made
No.
Gavin a T-shirt.
I don't think he could be Superfan Jack. I think he's got to go back to the minors. I'm not
All right.
saying he can't work his way back up.
What's he doing now? We could call him.
We minor league Jack is what we'll call it. Minor league
I
fan
like
Jack.
Minor League Jack. I'm a fan of Minor League Jack.
Should I call him right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, see if he can defend himself, I guess.
Let me see if he'll answer. Let's see.
I mean, a real super fan would answer if, his favorite podcast
That's
is
true.
on him, I guess. A minor league guy might not.
I hope this is a good idea. Okay, here we go. Hold on. Speaker. Can you guys hear that?
Nope.
No.
No.
Much like the soda chug,
Jack?
non-existent.
Hey, it's Jeff. Jeff from the Face podcast. You're on my podcast Face right now with me with Andrew Panton and Gavin Free. Do you have just 1 second, Jack?
Oh no, this is overwhelming. Oh my gosh, yes.
Can't hear.
I'm excited to be on your podcast face.
Andrew, were you able to hear that? Jack's very excited to be
No.
here.
I didn't hear
No,
anything.
I
It's
can't
going
hear a
into
thing.
the microphone. It's going straight into the microphone. I don't know how you can't hear it.
I can't hear Andrew.
I
he
feel
can't
like
hear
this is as made up as your soda.
No.
This
It's
is
real.
questionable at best.
It's what the fuck? Hold on a second, Jack. What the fuck am I supposed to do? How do I pipe it into you, dickhead? It's going into the microphone. I can't help it if you can't fucking hear it. He's here. Jack, are
Turn
you
your
here?
mic up, fool.
I'm here.
It's up.
Your mic is all the way up.
I can't hear Gavin either.
It's always all the way up. I always got. Hold on a second. Hold on a second, Jack. Hold on, just 1 second.
Notice,
All right,
Gavin,
all
Jeff
right,
said
try
my.
again, Jack, yell, hey.
Hello, this is Jack.
Oh, that's Jack.
We can kind of hear.
This is Jack. I'm here. I'm a big fan of the podcast.
Can hear.
Yeah, okay. He's fucking blowing out my microphone. All right, Andrew wanted me to relay something to you, so since he
Bit
can't
loud,
relay it,
Yeah, you're.
well, I got to turn my gain back
absurdly
down.
loud.
Andrew, what did you want me to say to Jack?
I just said that I think he
can't
can't
hear
be a
him.
super fan right now. I think he's got to
Okay.
get back to the minors.
Jack, Andrew has he's pulled face rank as 33% of face.
I didn't pull
and,
rank. It was more of a conversation.
He said he put his foot down and said that you've been stripped of your super fan title, and that you're now minor leagues fan. Jack, you have to work your way back up through the minors.
I don't know if I believe a liar.
Can hear him.
Okay, well, Jack, this has gone terribly wrong. I'm going to hang up on you now, but I'll relay that message. Thank you.
I like we're talking about someone who we talk to on Discord daily, and
Yeah.
we can't just have him join the Discord for 5 seconds.
I don't know why you didn't do that.
Me? What?
Well, why didn't you have him join the Discord then if you've got all the fucking ideas?
How am I, what?
Could I point out Jeff's podcast, Gavin? Did you hear that? On my podcast, Jeff said, "What happened to the triangle, Jeff?"
And then I said you're 33% of the fucking thing.
No, you didn't.
I
You
did
said my
just say, I said Andrew has 33% of the podcast. Oh my God, it is my podcast, and it's your podcast, and it's Gavin's podcast. Do you own a little piece of it? It's a little piece of yours, so you can call it yours.
Speaking of, like hosting duties, welcome to Face. I don't know what episode this is.
Well, hello, and welcome to episode 57, I believe, of Face. My name is Jeff Ramsey.
I'd be willing.
Well, now you're interrupting the intro.
Yeah, it's too late. The intro, this is like 28 minutes in. I'm willing to give up 1% of the triangle. I want to take 32% of the podcast and split the remaining percent equally between Eric and Nick.
I think that's a great idea.
Pretty nice day. I was rendering footage earlier. It was taking ages, so I just thought I'd quickly watch Jurassic Park. It's a good movie. I realized I've seen that movie. I saw it way more times as a kid. Maybe I must have seen it like 15 times. I don't think I ever realized what the movie's about or like why the movie happens. Because there's always like a plot of a movie, right? The main plot is, man rebirths dinosaurs and it goes against nature. Nature fights back. Dinosaurs don't do
Are you
it.
talking the mosquito thing? Like the origin of it? Is that
Not even that. I didn't realize that movie happens because the guy that dies at the beginning, the guy that gets sucked into the raptor pen, his family is suing the park for $20 million. And the investors are pulling out, and John Hammond needs 2 experts to sign off on the safety of the park. Don't think I ever paid attention to that. You could summarize movies in a way that doesn't reveal... Well, I guess that would kind of give it away, but there's like really ignorable plot in movies. And I feel like I want to go through all the movies I've seen a load of times and like write down the plot of why they actually take place.
I'll be honest, dude. You just blew my mind.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I've seen that movie so many times. I don't either. It's just like the unmemorable crap. Like you're a kid, you're watching. It's like, man, I wish the helicopter would land on the frickin' island. We see some damn dinosaurs, and you don't see any. You don't really listen to any of the exposition.
I'm sure minor league fan Jack is fucking going like, oh, how did you not know? I can't believe it. It's right there in front of you.
If we called Jack, do you think he would know now why Jurassic Park starts?
Yes, and I want somebody else to do it because I'm not going to be responsible for piping in Jack again after last time.
Just tell him to get on Discord.
So you do it.
I don't.
Let me see if he's on Discord right now.
I'm trying to think if any
he
other.
is-
I guess I wouldn't know. Is that the most exciting legal dispute of all time as far as genres of movies? Definitely
Oh! Hello.
Hello.
Hey, minor league fan Jack, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here.
It's nice to have you through Discord and not through Jeff's phone, through his
here we
mic.
go again.
I swear to God, I was actually there. You couldn't hear me. I don't know what was going on, but I was there.
Yeah, I heard it later in the recording. Jack, quick question for you.
Shoot.
What's Jurassic Park about?
Jurassic Park is a movie about a scientist who creates dinosaurs and then a gentleman who turns them into a theme park based around those dinosaurs.
Yep. Okay. But why does it? Why does the movie?
What's the point of the movie? What's the plot of the movie? Like what? Why?
I mean, yeah, I would argue the point of the movie is that don't mess with nature, and nature finds a way. And the plot of the movie is the everything looks good, but no, nature found a way, and they replicated and then destroyed everything.
But why does the movie happen when it happens?
Could you rephrase that question, please?
What's the inciting incident for things to go wrong?
What causes the events of the movie?
Nedry, the hacker, it shuts down the power, and because of that, the walls go down and the dinosaurs get out and start eating people.
Why is
Why
Alan
are the
Grant
characters there?
Alan Grant and Ellie Slater Ellie Sattler and Ian Malcolm are there to basically give their thumbs up of approval on it because the lawyers were pissed off because people had died. And so Hammond needed someone to basically kind of give a thumbs up on the whole park to be like, oh, it's safe and it's great. And so he brought them in because he was funding their dig in Wyoming, I believe, or Montana. And so he's like, I know them and I can fund your dig for further if you come give me a thumbs up. And that's why they were there.
Holy shit. Jeff,
He knew
you were
more
right.
than you did, Gavin. Holy shit.
Yep.
And I feel like it's Gavin's fault for how he phrased he phrased it horribly, like 6 times in a row.
Well, that
is
was
why
I
it took so long
didn't want to give I didn't want to give anything away and like the information we were after. I was hoping that it would just eventually get there. I just had to be more specific.
There's a line between not giving it away and actually asking what you're asking. You asked like 6 different questions that were unrelated to what you're
I was just trying to get closer and closer to the reason the movie started.
Man. Say, Jack, Gavin watched Jurassic Park today, and he discovered that the movie was about something he never realized. And he was explaining to us about the $20 million lawsuit over the guy that got sucked up by the raptors and how they brought Ian and the others on to basically certify that it was safe. And I said, if anybody on Earth knows that, it's you.
I was just blown away, Jack, that I'd seen that movie about 15 times, but I never really knew that was the reason the movie events start.
Yeah. That's the whole point of it is Gennaro, the lawyer, is there, and he's like, we gotta get people to sign off on it, and there you go.
I bet there are very few people on Earth who remember that the lawyer's name is Gennaro.
You are in the top 0.01% of Jurassic Park fans, probably.
I'm a Jurassic Park super fan too, I guess.
All right, okay. Robert what's his name? Muldoon?
Robert Muldoon, yeah, he's the warden, the game warden.
Yeah. Where did John Hammond find him?
Oh, was it in an African safari, I think, is where he found him?
It was from Hammond's Park in Kenya. Damn, he knows his shit.
Jack, who wrote the Miami Dolphins fight song?
The same guy who wrote the Country Road song.
Oh, that's great. John Denver. You nailed it. If you would have known that, Jack, I would have left. You would have blown my mind. Nobody knows his name. I don't even know his name. I've read 6 stories about the guy. I can't remember.
All right, Jack, thanks for proving Jeff right, and thanks for blowing my mind. All right.
Yeah, appreciate it, Jack.
Absolutely.
Talk to you later.
Big fan of the show, you guys. Love you guys.
Thanks, Jack.
There
Hi,
you go.
Jack.
That was minor league fan Jack.
He didn't leave.
No,
Like,
he's here. He's hanging out. Did he leave on his end? Did he just close the app? Because he was on his phone. I think he just closed the app. And
Maybe he just walked away from his phone.
He's still there.
Maybe he just wanted
I
to
wonder
listen
if when he...
You guys need me to leave now? Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye, love you, bye. I wonder if whenever he's done talking on the phone, he's like, all right, Mom, I'll see you later. And then he just puts his phone down fully on and just goes to another room.
Walks away.
Jack really knows his shit with that movie.
Yeah, he does. Hey, Henry found the Squeaky toy again. That's cool.
I forgot about Henry. The Squeaky toy, Jeff. You were trying to shush it.
I was making a note. I'm just making notes of what prototype I want to make, and I just found I found a picture. I think I showed this to Jeff. Andrew, what do you think is happening in this picture?
Oh, I'm excited. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. It's like the worst Spike Jonze video, or like Michelle Gondry. We're in somebody's mouth. Is that Jeff? I think this is Jeff. I would have assumed Jeff's mouth.
No.
But what
It looks like I'm in the photo.
It does, but it's so bright now. I just assumed it's not the people in the background, Jeff, is not what you immediately notice when looking at this photo.
This, Andrew, is a nice. This might be the only one in existence. A nice picture of Jeff and myself taken from inside minor league fan Jack's mouth.
Oh, it's horrendous. Why?
We'll have to ask him if he's like. But I don't think I've ever seen a picture of people from inside someone's mouth before.
Yeah,
it's like tongue POV. It's like
if there was a camera
on Jack's tongue when he's talking. That's what it would look like.
This could be the new Instagram craze. Inside the mouth portraits. I love this.
I would love to see more of these. It was basically we were in Australia having lunch, I think, and I had my 360 camera out, and Jack just walked up. He arrived late because we we left without him. So we had to get a separate Uber. And then he just walked up while I had that, and he just put my camera in his mouth for like 1 second. But because it's 360, I then like went into the file, and it was originally pointed at the back of his throat, but I just spun it around, and you can see out of his mouth. It's so disgusting. It looks so wet in there. It looks like that Cortana level in Halo.
It looks dirty.
How many bites does it take for that mouth to eat a nugget? Is what I want to know. We need to do measurements.
I think it's more like how many nuggets can that bite eat in one? Can that mouth eat in one bite? It looks not safe for work.
No, it looks
does.
like Alien. There's like a very alien vibe to this.
You never see behind someone's teeth and lips.
No.
Very rarely.
Outside of video games. Like, I feel like that's always the classic, like, oh, I've morphed into a character. Let me, like, see through their face.
I just like
man.
there's a picture of 2/3 of this podcast from inside Jack's mouth. I love it.
I don't think you could identify somebody from the inside of their mouth. I don't, like, without context.
Do you think a dentist could? I bet a dentist could.
I think a dentist probably could, but I don't want to know that about somebody. I don't want to ever be at a level with someone be like, oh, imagine if I fucking knew that was Jack's mouth. What a crazy pull that would have been. Imagine if I would have been like, yeah, it looks like Jack's mouth. I'd recognize that fourth tooth from the left anywhere.
Eric's not a fan of the lips.
There's something about seeing the teeth in like the top of like the roof of the mouth that's like, oh, that's gross. For some reason, seeing the lips over the teeth, but they're the inside of the
Jesus
lips
Christ.
is so like it really, I put in the chat, it looks like a Cronenberg film. It looks like Long Live the New Flesh, like disgusting The Fly level shit. I don't like this. Like I keep looking at it because I can't look away.
I want to see a zombie movie entirely from this perspective of just like one zombie, just like the worst. Be terrible.
I think that's a great comp, Eric. It definitely feels very like Videodrome-esque. Ugh.
I think maybe if we're ever all together at RTX, we should take, and we do a panel, we should take a picture of the entire cast of face from inside Jack's mouth.
Oh,
That's a great idea. That's a great
I'm
idea.
okay with that.
That's a great
Why?
idea.
What were you thinking?
Well, I was just gonna. I don't think we need more mouths out there. Like, if anything, I feel like this photo should be deleted. It's disturbing. I don't want this to be a trend.
Just like the idea of Jack's mouth being a
Yeah.
camera.
The weirdest angle for the Truman Show. It's the mouth camera guy.
Maybe that's the next direction we'll move into, is taking stuff out of our pockets, moving into our wrist, then eliminating the wrist altogether and creating mouth products.
I thought you were gonna say move everything from the pockets to the mouth. I was like, no, we should not do that.
Just store my keys in Jack's mouth. Do you know what was admitted to me recently?
What?
Minor League fan Jack has access to this Discord, and obviously he's a big fan.
Yeah.
So sometimes he just scrolls through the chat and tries to guess what the episode is about.
I watched him do it today.
Did you really?
Yeah, I saw him doing it today. Yeah.
I think he'll be quite confused with this one.
I like the ones that have no context to the actual show. I cannot wait for him to speculate on a Danny Trejo conversation that never happens. That's going to be great.
Well, what, now you got to mention it.
I can't wait for Jack to look at these images without context. That's going to be a good one.
We should start having Jack record like 1 minute summaries of the episodes, but he hasn't listened to them yet. And put them as like next week on Face. Now we should probably throw it to minor league fan Jack Patillo to tell us what's coming up on next week's Face.
On next week? What do you mean? Your idea was that he'd look at the images for what are you talking about?
Like we would record next week and we would let him read the chat and then he would record based on that and we stick it on this one.
So
we're just going to edit this in.
confused.
No,
So-
he's right. He's right.
Like imagine what we did today, but next week. We came up with the idea in this one, so we can't do this one.
Okay.
As long as we're always one ahead, we can.
But
Yeah.
we don't even know, is what's weird about it. We don't know what's coming next week. That's why I feel
But
uncomfortable about this.
But Jack does.
Jack does that. You're right.
Or he
And then
will.
next week they can tune in and see how accurate it was.
You're right.
I think that's a fantastic idea.
We'll try it out. We'll experiment with it.
Hey guys, minor league fan Jack here to give you a preview of next week's episode of Face. Jeff gives an update on his pitching. The gang gives their thoughts on karate movies. Jeff goes on about his favorite Apple-related film. Andrew loses his mind about dark chocolate candy. Jeff returns from the proctologist and makes a shocking discovery. And once again, Andrew does not eat the pencil. All this and more on the next episode of Face.
And to
Why
your
is
left
Jack
is
typing?
We've got mice in the pantry. How is Jack in our Discord right now?
We could so mess with Jack because he's not listening.
Yeah.
We could do something like,
Yes.
okay, and then
Were you waiting for one of us to have an idea?
I've had the idea.
Okay.
I don't want to type. That's the funniest. What a fucking great idea. You're a goddamn genius.
You're the funniest person I've ever met. That is the funniest fucking thing I have ever seen in my entire life. Oh my God.
I was going to post that later, but the fact that Jack started typing in here was just, it made it the perfect time.
Oh my God. Do you want to explain what you just posted?
Well, I kind of came in out of order, actually, but I posted a picture of Jack and his car, then a picture of his... Who left?
Who do you
Andrew left. Andrew left.
It's okay.
I
don't
posted
need
a picture of Jack's car, then I posted a picture of Jack's car key, and then I put an arrow to under his car seat, and then I posted a picture of a bag of cocaine.
And a
so
big
that he has
picture
to-
of Jack smiling next to the car.
Just so Jack has to look at all these pictures and assume that they're somehow in this episode.
because I've been thinking about this but didn't know the timing of it. Or people would be mad because they like the segment so much.
I can't take it. It's too funny.
The sequence is great. You're definitely telling a narrative that Jack is smuggling cocaine in the back of his car.
Oh.
Oxygen.
You okay, Jack?
I'm sweating from laughing so hard. Oh my God. Oh. The longer Jack doesn't respond, the funnier it gets.
Now I'm nervous that he's gonna be mad. He's not responding.
That's what makes it so much better.
Imagine next week on Face. 3 pounds of cocaine are into my car seat.
Oh man.
He got a jet out of jail free card. He's doing your idea. He is inspired. He is inspired.
Apologies
by
for the very visual gag there to the audience, but I assume we can somehow
we'll throw it-
make
yeah.
a picture out of it on Instagram.
Or
Here's a
whatever.
little preview of 2022 from Mr. Patillo.
Hey guys, minor league fan Jack here with a look at next week's episode of Face. Andrew needs a new computer very badly, and he didn't look at the circle. Gavin thinks he's funny. Seriously, Andrew needs a new computer. Jeff continues to defend Home Alone, and once again, Andrew does not eat the pencil. All that and more on the next episode of Face.
So I was there for one of the other podcasts I do, the theme park podcast, as well as for like a Rooster Teeth community meetup. So during the community meetup, and I was doing this meetup with my regular fan Jack. I'm not sure where he is in the hierarchy right now.
he
So it's
gone
called
down?
fan Jack. Well, he's not minor league fan anymore. I think he's up from minor league to just regular.
That's a
fan.
promotion.
But yeah, I think so. And so I was on a panel, and somebody came up and gave it to me, and it had a bow on it, and they put like a little Rooster Teeth Union Jack logo on it, and they were like, "Here, we got this for you, and here's some boiling water, and here's something to spread it on. Will you eat it in front of everyone?" And since it was being filmed, I thought, yeah, it's like might as well. So I've uploaded a photo. It's on the Face Instagram already, I think. It's of me, and by the way, a snazzy new Regulation Listener T-shirt, which I think is just
Very
adorable.
nice.
And there's a regular fan Jack in the background, and I'm holding the Bovril that they gave me. So the first way I had it was as a spread, and I have to say it was fucking heinous. Like, absolutely disgusting. If you've ever had Vegemite, if you've ever had Marmite, this is just as bad, if not like 5% worse. I mean, just dog shit. Not edible.
Whoa.
Just not edible. However, then I took a teaspoon of this goop, and I stuck it in the boiling water, and I spun it around a little bit and made like the hot Bovril cup like you would have at a football game.
Yeah.
And I give it a 5.2 out of 10.
Okay, so and what was the first one? Dog shit out of 10, and then 5.2 out of 10?
Yeah, like I found myself throughout the panel still sipping it a little bit. I thought I probably ended up drinking half of a little Dixie cup full of Bovril. Yeah, it's not great, but in that form, I can see like on a cold day, you kind of want a little nourishment and to be warmed up. I can see in much the same way maybe you would drink like hot bone broth or like a bouillon. I can see it being
Yeah, a little bit of a hearty drink.
Utilitarian.
I've never had it as a spread, so I'll probably try that at some point. But yeah, I don't mind it as a hot Bovril. Also, at a glance, Jack's t-shirt in the corner of my eye looked like it said anal passage.
That's the other podcast I do, Anal Passage.
Can we just sell that shirt remade as anal passage?
Anal Passage.
Jack notices.
As a face shirt?
Yeah.
Eric, can you get on that, please?
I would wear that.
We gotta do that. That's awesome.
Jack would think at a glance that I'm repping the merch, but it's really just...
You know what would be the ultimate? What would be the ultimate is if we work it out with his wife, so she switches out the annual pass shirt in his laundry for an anal passage shirt, and see if we can get him to wear it without knowing he's wearing an anal passage shirt.
we would have to move fast on that before this episode comes out,
Yeah,
Shit.
we'll have to get
which
right on
is
top of it.
less than a week.
It's just Tuesday.
Christ.
We have to like swap the shirt and put it right at the top of the pile.
But we've kind of, this is like the bat paranoia. He now will have to check his annual pass shirt always. He's going to have to constantly double check that shirt. So it kind of works no matter what. We've created shirt paranoia.
Oh, Eric's already sent it off to the merch team. Okay. So there you go.
Eric is live. Why are we, should I click this?
Well, let's watch Eric.
Watching Eric.
I wanted to show you guys. I didn't want to put it in the chat, but I got the shirt. Are
Anal
we?
passage.
Are we good to go? Can I send that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I
All
think
right.
that's good.
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to
Hell
make sure.
yeah.
So just for
Hell
people at home,
yeah.
just so you know, because we can't put it in the chat. This is
Yeah,
the
'cause
anal
Jack is
passage
it.
shirt.
That's a great point. That's sneaky. I fully approve.
Great.
Okay, cool. So I'll let them know to send it. By the time you listen to this episode, I don't know if you can still get this shirt. You can try. I'm sure you can. But the anal passage shirt was on sale and is now probably gone. So I hope you enjoyed.
Fantastic. When are we? Is that going up tomorrow at noon?
So
when is?
wait, are people only going to be able to buy it before the podcast came out?
Yeah, I think they're.
Let me read you the description for the shirt, which I've lifted
Okay.
from the annual pass shirt. Theme parks are opening their gates, and the scent of fresh chili dogs hangs in the air. It's anal passage season, and that means it's time to grab a new AP marquee tee to celebrate the most wonderful time of the year. Listen to episode 101.
That's fantastic.
That's fantastic. That's going to be a great little Easter egg for people that find it. Oh, man.
Yes.
I was worried in between episodes that Jack would be genuinely mad at that one.
Well,
And then you said,
it's
"Don't worry about
gonna come out and release before he can react to it. Like it sounds like that shirt will be available tomorrow. When is it
Also-
selling? Doesn't matter, I guess.
I released a fucking face shirt of him with his dumb bald head that was up for like 4 days, and then told him he could get revenge on me whenever he wanted to, and he's too lazy to do it. So I wouldn't worry too much. Even if he is mad, he's just going to stew in his own juices. He's not going to do anything about it.
So this will go on sale at the time of this recording. It'll go on sale tomorrow. At the time of you listening to this episode, it will have already been on sale, and you can no longer get it, I assume.
We assume.
Hey guys, regular fan Jack here with a look at next week's episode of Face. Did you know Jeff co-stars in another podcast about theme parks? Gavin tells everyone about his favorite podcast called Annual Pass. Penn talks about how roller coasters are better than bagels. Jeff discovers G-Forces. The boys decide that Annual Pass is a much better podcast to listen to than Face. Annual Pass releases every Thursday anywhere you get your podcasts. And once again, Andrew does not eat the pencil. All that and more on next week's episode of Annual Pass.
Hi.
Hi. How's it going?
I'm doing really well. This has been a fun week. I've enjoyed seeing all the anal passage things. I would need to. I would love to, because I don't have the same. I don't interact with Jack all that much. I watched the Rooster Teeth podcast, which Jack was on Monday, and it felt. I know it wasn't scripted, but the fact he wore that shirt felt scripted in the best way. But his reactions were so genuine that, like, there's no way that was done intentional.
No. I'll be honest with you. I was trying to pick my jaw up off the ground from the second he walked in to the studio, because the idea that he would wear the exact shirt during the middle of the joke about the shirt at honestly the only intersection in content where it would ever make sense was live in that moment. It was such serendipity. I immediately thought nobody's gonna believe this. No, and it's such a shame nobody's gonna believe this. But holy shit, is this fortuitous? And but I think his cluelessness had to.
It absolutely did, because
it wasn't.
I was one of those people. Like, I didn't have the context of, like, if that would have been organized or whatever, I wouldn't have known. So when I first saw it, I thought, oh, that's funny. He's leaning into it. And then his reactions were so clear. And just in case we didn't set up properly, Jack was on the Rooster Teeth podcast with you guys on Monday, and he was wearing the Annual Pass shirt that we turned into an anal passage shirt based on what Gavin said. And he had zero idea that the shirt had been for sale for 4 or 5 days at that point.
I sat down next to him and I was like, oh my God. And I just was like, nice shirt. And then he was like, all right, what's going on with the shirt? And I was like, no way. He doesn't know?
Yeah, it eluded him through social media all weekend. So comment leavers, thank you for not spoiling it.
Yes.
And regulation listeners, well, you did your job beautifully as well.
I will say, there are some snitches though, and I saw you, because I promoted it on the Face Pod Twitter account, but I deleted it in 15 minutes. I tweeted about it with a link, retweeted it, and liked it, and was like, I'm going to delete this in 15 minutes. And somebody immediately tagged him. I was like, trying to ruin this joke. So there are people, I see you trying to snitch on it. So no good to this. I'm taking notes. They might be on the list of 20,000. Keeping a list. I still got spaces to fill. But I was just so happy that came together.
We improbably sold over 100 of those things, which
that's
is
wonderful.
So ridiculous.
That's great. Fantastic.
Oh man! So thank you to everybody who bought an anal passage shirt.
So that
you were a part of a hilarious joke that honestly, I think annoyed Jack. So
that's what I was about to ask.
Yeah.
Have you talked to Jack about the shirt? I assume he listens to the show that he would have heard by now.
He texted me. Well, Gavin and I were at dinner. Actually, Gavin and I went out to dinner the other night together with a bunch of old people who were really old and very old, and we were by far the coolest, youngest people there. And while I was at
you
dinner,
were like, please sit next to me.
That is 100% true. He just texted me and he said, "I'm counting those shirt sales to Annual Pass." So.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. Totally fair.
Official collab.
He was definitely, you can tell, because I've been doing it for so very many years, you can tell when you genuinely get under his skin. He's gotten a lot better at hiding it. He's built some armor up over the last 2 decades. we definitely annoyed him
It's a
in
great
all the best
shirt.
ways, and it's a great shirt.
It's fantastic.
Hey guys, regular fan Jack here with a look at next week's episode of Face. Let's talk Freddy vs. Jason. Annual Pass has the best-selling Face shirt. Alexa is a religious figure. Gavin can't get over the overkill. This will be a November to remember. Have we discovered the previously on guy? And once again, Andrew does not eat the pencil. All that and more on next week's episode of Face.
Should we open up with, I would like to say on the record that bagels are infinitely better than roller coasters. Roller coasters, not great, my opinion. I just would like to say that on the record. Definitively.
That's
yeah,
fair.
Jack did a whole thing because we should actually just get in. That's a great entry point to the, to
we
the
might as well.
tunnel of love that is known as anal passage. We are selling a lot of shirts, an absurd amount of shirts that I feel like has completely changed the narrative on what this whole bit is.
We
Yeah.
accidentally made the best-selling shirt of the entire year. Is that right?
I believe so.
That is atrocious.
I think it's the most profitable shirt, and we're like right about to cross the most sold.
I feel genuinely bad about that one.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna sell like 20 of those things.
Yeah.
We have sold hundreds upon hundreds, and people keep buying them.
But it doesn't make... Well, firstly, I thought we were treated like it was going to be a limited run, like our balls.
Yes.
But secondly, who are these, like, 600 people
know.
who want to wear anal passage on the front of their shirt? They can't... Surely you can't wear that one.
I was talking about this with Jack this morning because I had to record Anal Passage. 2 episodes of Anal Passage, so if I'm sitting a little weird, if I feel uncomfortable, that's why. And I was telling him, I was like, the only reason that shirt is even still around, I was going to pull it down Monday or Tuesday as soon as the episode came out. And be like, all right, well, it's time to take it down now. We sold, 100 of them or whatever. The joke has run its course. And I just forgot to. I was just being lazy. And I was like, I got a bunch of slacks. I'll slack later. And then I just never did. And then we've sold hundreds upon hundreds since then. Absolutely, absolutely ridiculous.
So-
Makes no sense.
I know the premise was we did this and Jack's going to be annoyed by it and we'll remove it eventually when Jack sees it. Respectfully, I don't think Jack's feelings matter anymore. It is the most profitable shirt of 2022. I think it just has to stay. Like, I think the audience is fuck Jack in a weird way.
Yeah,
by
no.
buying the shirt.
We have just the best listeners.
That's our next shirt is fuck Jack's feelings. Look for that shirt coming soon. It's going to sell 10,000.
Do a variation of it.
The idea that in the spreadsheet, as the profit goes up, the guilt goes down.
It does. Well, I mean, in Jeff's defense, I feel like you've the closest. You do another show with Jack. It's clearly out of your hands at this point. You would love to, I'm sure, remove a thing that he's annoyed by, but it's undeniably successful. It would make no sense.
Yeah, I
to
mean, we don't have a choice.
out of your
It'd be
hands.
bad business.
it would be terrible business.
I will say, I do think it legitimately pissed him off.
Oh, absolutely. That's maybe the funniest part.
What makes you say that?
I can tell by his demeanor when we're together that he was certainly annoyed by it, and I think even more annoyed by how well it sold.
How do we make it up to him?
Why? I don't think we have to. I think I don't know. Maybe do we get him a gift basket? I mean, I don't think we have to. But
We can get him one of the shirts. Do you think
That's a
would
great
put a smile on
idea.
his face?
maybe we could get him a special one that is like a unique color, like a one of one.
Maybe we should put together a special face guilt basket that we send to people in the
Oh,
face.
it's a great idea.
We'll
we should
come up
get
with
on
a
this.
standard selection of items that we'll
A
send.
regulation basket.
Yeah, we'll send it to
I
the
can
director of
weave
the
it.
tuxedo. We'll send one to Jack.
Oh my god, we got to do that. What if we also promote him? What if we give him like a 10-day contract back to the big leagues, and he could be minor league or he could be major league fan Jack on a 10-day expiring contract.
Can we... Never mind. I'm going to keep that to myself for now. I like that, Gavin. You're like, was he really mad? It's like, yeah. It's a joke based off of a thing he created. It's like something his number one interest. It seems like, of course, that would be something I'd be annoyed by.
Huh.
Like, it's not. Obviously, he would be upset by it.
More people bought the shirt than listened to the podcast.
That's
That's not true.
No, we should be clear that's not true.
That's not true.
It might be close, but it's not true.
It's not true, but it's a really funny, mean thing to say.
Okay.
And I couldn't stop myself. It's obviously not true. It's not
Obviously
true.
not true.
But I had to. Yeah, it had to come out. So I couldn't swallow that poison.
I feel like at this point we've got back at Jack not showing up to any of the break shit multiple times over at this point.
Yeah.
Also, he said he wanted to go on that, but Eric didn't send him the calendar invite.
Dude.
That is, I talked to Jeff about that, like when we did this break shit yesterday. That fucking floored me. I was so, like, I could not believe that he said that and meant it. Like, he was there when we were, like, going to record them. He was there and watched us set up. He hung out for, like, the better part of half an hour, and then it was getting on to showtime, and he went, well, see you later. And
I'm
I was
pretty sure
like,
we talked to him
Yes.
about
Yes. It wasn't a secret. We told him over and over that we wanted him on. So, like, no, I won't stand for that. Like, that's ridiculous. He did this to himself, and like everything else, he's done it to himself and only has himself to blame.
I feel like he texted you that he was out, or he texted Jeff in one of the first ones. So, like, specifically, there was a reach out by Jeff.
Oh my God! Like he was invited. He was on calendar invites for the first bunch, and
That's what I like.
He was like a last minute scratch from the first 3 of them, I think.
I will, in defense of Jack, if you don't get a calendar invite, but you say you're invite, it doesn't. It's like it feels like a 50-50.
He's had calendar invites.
But
before.
if you have a calendar invite and you do not make it, then that is its own. I cannot. That's not defendable.
What happens if you don't have a calendar invite, but you're there as everyone's setting up and about to go live with it, and you know it's happening, and you know you haven't made the other ones, so the invitation is still open?
And people are saying shit like, "Hey, it'd be cool to have you on today, man."
Yeah, if somebody says to me, I'd like for you to be on this, or it'd be really cool for you to be on this, then that goes out the window. If there's just an assumption of being welcome, then I'm kind of on his side in that moment. The open invite doesn't, it's a tricky thing. It feels fake a lot of the time.
I would be careful to get on, not to get on Eric's bad side on this one. He is
I don't
just as
understand
annoyed
how
about
it would
this.
be. I don't understand how it would be tricky. Jack, we want you on this. And then he blew us off 3. Hang on. And then he blew us off 3 times. And then we just kept doing these things and going like, would be cool if you came. And then he was there as we were setting up. I'll never forget that. We were there. He was there as we were setting up. And like, oh, is he? I mean, really, it was he left. And me and Jeff just went, I mean, I didn't want to say anything. I had to see if he was going to stick around or not. And he just left. And it was
There's
like,
a solution for this.
yeah.
The next break shit, we do it from wherever Jack is in that moment.
Like a break shit flash mob.
Table with wheels just behind him.
Wow. Are they going to let us open baseball cards at Universal Studios? Are they going to be okay with that?
Doing rips on a roller coaster.
Oh my God! Somebody write this down. We'll forget about that. Oh, that's a great idea. Anyway, thanks to the comment leavers and the regulation listeners, both of you, for buying that shirt and being in on that joke. It was
What
holy
a phenomenal turnout. I love this listener base more than any I've ever been a part of, I think.
I totally agree. I completely agree. I think that we've all cultivated quite a little community together, us and them.
Hey guys, Superfan Jack on a 10-day contract here with a look at next week's episode of Face. Jeff bought a new TV. Andrew falls down the stair. Let's talk tubs again. Panton has left the chat. Jeff talks bread clips. A very special guest joins the episode. And once again, Andrew does not eat the pencil. All that and more on next week's episode of Face.
I was in Orlando last week at the Anal Passage show, and I know we're not going to talk about Anal Passage, but I was there at the Anal Passage show, and 3 people came up to me in Bald Jack shirts, and 6 people had Anal Passage shirts, which, yes, was more people than had the Annual Pass shirt of the same design.
Where was this event?
It was in Orlando.
And people would voluntarily wear an Anal Passage shirt to that.
There were probably 125 people there, and I would say most of them mentioned Anal Passage to me. But at least 10 of them were wearing face gear, and I think I saw 6 anal passage shirts. Yeah.
I can't wait to get mine. I still don't have one.
Oh, really?
Really?
Do you have one?
I thought about wearing it.
Okay,
But I didn't.
I'll check into that for you. That's weird.
I
it's
never get any of it. I've not
We
got
also-
merch in months.
We also found out that all of the merch goes to RT and is in the mailroom, and Gavin just never goes to check.
Yeah, I
so it's
feel like
probably
we-
waiting for you there with all the other merch.
That's right. Yeah. That's what it is. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I went there, and all of the merch for me was gone. There was like some dregs, but apparently all my stuff was taken by someone. Sarah Weems was very unhappy about it.
Well, that's where somebody's wearing your anal passage shirt right now. Then somebody in RT.
Oh, someone's joined.
Uh-oh. Is that Jack?
I just want to end this. We have to end the episode.
Well, I know. Now that Jack's here, we'll have him do next time. That's
a great idea.
Okay,
God,
all right.
oh,
I
hey,
mean, since
Jack.
we're going to end it, that's great.
Jack, here, hop on and give us our next week.
Next week on Face, all of these assholes are super big assholes. You guys are all assholes. I want you to
What
know
do we
that.
do this time?
Well, I just finished listening to the episode that came out today,
Yeah,
which
we did
was
today's
you guys
episode.
basically saying that you couldn't, you can't take down the shirt because it's outlived me.
Yeah. It's the #1 shirt of the year. I don't think
It's
that's an
too
insane
successful.
request.
Number one shirt of the year. You're welcome, you sons of bitches.
There you go. You heard it
Thanks,
here
Jack.
first. That's what's on next week.
Next week, Andrew doesn't eat the pencil. All that and more on next week's episode of Face. Bye.
Did you, along those same lines, did you see that comment lever? I think it might have been on Instagram, who posted that they got kicked out of the SpongeBob store at, I guess, Universal Studios, maybe because they had an anal passage shirt on.
No. Oh no.
That got me thinking, because I have one of those anal passage shirts. What is the most embarrassing place I could wear an anal passage shirt to? Like, could I wear it to my next? Like, could I wear it to my colonoscopy, or would that be too on the nose?
I think that's on the nose. I think that
Like,
plays.
could I wear it to a funeral?
Probably if like Biden gave you that Medal of Freedom or whatever.
Ooh, accept the Medal of Freedom in an anal passage shirt. That would be good.
I've seen you explain to people at the company like what works about face, and then you'll go into a meeting a month later and explain the thing you were talking about. And they'll be like, "Ooh, what's that?" It's like no one can bring themselves to delve in.
It's just like
It's a lot. It's a deep lore about nothing.
it's the face curse that it's not just the podcast, it extends to conversations and meetings too, whereas like as soon as the meeting about the face thing is over, everybody else from every other department in the company, their brain toilet flushes too, and they're like, fucking don't need that.
I have been enjoying the weekly newsletter that's been coming out, the internal one that has to say that anal passage is the top seller of every of the merch store. Because you know there's everyone at the company just thinking, I don't even want to look up what that could be about.
Dude, I don't want to get too granular into sales and stuff, but let me just say that the face annual anal passage shirt it's nearing 4 figures in sales, which is absolutely ludicrous.
It's so stupid.
I can't fucking believe it. I can't believe that in like 19 and a half years of selling t-shirts online through various productions, this like anal passage is approaching like top 50 for the history of the company at some point, I think. You know, it's fucking ridiculous.
Wow.
I love it.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That also may
Thank
not be
you
true.
to
It's just
everybody
going off the
who-
top of my head.
No, that's great. Let's just claim it's true. That's fantastic.
It's like Bow Chicka Bow Wow, camping is a legitimate strategy, zombie plan, and the caboose shirt and anal passage.
Good. It gives me more time to perfect. Wow. Did I say perfect? What did I say? That was a fucking horrible combination of words trying to say perfect. It allows me more time to work on the banana wipe.
That was probably my favorite flub.
Perfect?
I don't know why
Perfect.
that was so funny to me.
It was so bad. Typically, when you flub, you could see like the person was thinking between 2 different words and they kind of got mixed. They didn't know what to go with. Perfect is nothing. There's just nothing. That's just wrong. That's just a miss.
I was doing another podcast with Jack this morning, superfan Jack, who, by the way, made a face appearance. We should probably mention.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll tell you about it in a second. Anyway, we were doing the one of the other podcasts with him this morning. This is a busy podcast today. This is my 4th podcast today. but he mispronounced enthusiasm, and didn't know, and just kept going. I stopped the podcast. I was like, I held my hand up. I was like, we got to stop.
It sounds like a really
Acknowledge.
psyched up room.
Yeah, that you said enthusiasm, and he was like, "Oh, what did I?" I don't know. It was fucking awesome.
Oh,
You just listed a list of terrible things that happened to you this year, Jeff. Could I make maybe a possibly late entry into a favorite thing of the year for you? Something I've been working on these last few days?
Yeah, but is that something that we should do now, or do we do it tomorrow in the episode?
No, it'll be now.
Okay,
It
it's
needs
now.
to be placed now for you to consider it for tomorrow. I don't know if it'll make the list.
Oh, I
think
see.
it
I
might.
see.
Oh.
I see.
So I was curious because we're at the end of the year, and one of my favorite bits of the year that the audience, that we really have to credit them as well as Gavin's inability to see, is anal passage becoming the #1 selling shirt in the store. It's just absurd. It's hilarious to me. The concept that there would be meetings with like professional people that are so far away from us that like don't understand or like have any context for face, having to look at charts where face anal passage is #1. Like you
Yeah.
can't ignore it. Like it
Yeah.
has to be there. Just kills me. It makes me laugh. So it's great. It is genuinely one of my favorite things of the year. And so I was curious because I hadn't checked in a while. So I reached out to the merch department to make sure that we were still #1. And sadly, we have fallen to #2. It is the #2 selling shirt by a little bit. So I've been trying to reignite the anal passage brand to kind of close out the year and hopefully get us back on top of that anal passage pyramid. So I did some research. I did some digging.
Keep climbing
as
that
one
anal
does.
mountain.
I climbed that anal mountain and I made something. It's the first step in bringing the brand back to the top of Anal Mountain where it deserves to be. Jeff, let me introduce you to analpassage.com, a new website for a serious brand for serious people.
oh my good God.
He looks like a serial killer.
Top 10 passages?
So we've done a few things on this site. As you can see, open it, wonderful Jack's face on it. Welcome to Anal Passage. It's available, obviously, to anyone listening. You can go to analpassage.com. We got the home, we got the FAQ, we got the top 10 passages, we got more. Where are you at, Gavin? You're at the top 10 passages?
I'm at the top 10
Yeah,
passages.
top 10
Okay,
passages.
let's just 10 famous passages.
Let's open up the top 10 passages. I don't think there's any dispute for
Such
what these
as
are.
Brooklyn Bridge in Brooklyn and
Yep.
Rainbow Bridge in Asgard.
Well, you're
Kevin
skipping #1.
McAllister's zip line.
Kevin McAllister's zipline is maybe my favorite passage of all
Where'd
time.
you get
It's
that
just,
from?
What do you mean? The zipline?
Yeah, what made
Well, it's
you
just
put that on there?
Well, it's just when I was thinking of like defining what a passage is. It's essentially like a path over or around or through something. And the zip line, as a kid, I thought that was so fucking cool to have a zip line from your
Yeah.
bedroom to the treehouse. Like it's amazing. You're overlooking #1, which is hole 6 at the Paradise Fun Park, which is a mini golf course on the island. You walk on a pirate ship. It's very cool. It's a great
On your
one.
island?
Yeah, on our island.
Oh, we
Well,
gotta
how
play
have you
mini
never
golf on
mentioned
your
this?
island.
gotta
you can
do
see,
that.
You can see Paradise Fun Park. It's not.
We
It's
can
honestly
potentially
it's okay. But that
Bring
hole,
a load of anal passage shirts to the #1 top 10 passage in the
Oh,
world.
we've got to.
We can have a little sell-off at the end of the year.
We'll do it when we go crabbing.
So I guess for the audio listeners, just go through hole 6. Paradise Fun Park is #1, followed by Brooklyn Bridge 2. Rainbow Bridge 3 is Asgard. #4 is Kevin McAllister's Zipline. #5, Golden Gate Bridge. #6, Hawaii Door, which is a door in Monsters, Inc. with a time code of where you can find it. #7 is The Path to Becoming John Malkovich. #8, the Staples Center Secret Entrance, which I don't know if you're familiar with, Gavin, but there's a player who played for that team, got traded, they had like a fight on the court, and the guy that got traded that used to play there led a group of players through a secret entrance in the bowels of the arena to try to attack the other team in the locker room. It's fantastic.
By the way, this player who he's mentioning is State Farm's own Chris Paul.
#9 is the Shawshank Tunnels and the Mines of Moria, Middle Earth.
I
#10,
like
so that's
that.
a top 10.
The Golden Gate Bridge ranks above a tunnel leading to the brain of another human.
Yeah, it's a great bridge. I don't know if you've seen
It's
it
a really
recently,
nice
but
bridge.
It looks
It is a
really
really,
nice.
really
It's
nice
in so
bridge.
many movies. It always pops when it's in a movie. It's fantastic.
That color, international orange, lovely.
So where should we move to next?
I guess more future innovations.
Okay, so future innovations is because if we're a serious brand, we can't just stop at a shirt.
Oh Lord.
So I reached out to Tony, who's fantastic in merch, and I ran some ideas by him and had him make some things.
Put time on this.
Tony is incredible. Some of the products here are fantastic. We could go through. The first one, anal baggage. It's a bag. It's being currently used to cover a jet ski. It's you can use it however you want, though. We all have anal baggage. There's the toy. I don't remember what those are called.
What's on the viewfinder?
I don't know.
What
We
are
can
the
finalize
pictures?
that.
Okay.
Got the anal age appropriate toy. We got the anal passage of time, which is a clock anybody can use.
That's
We've gotta
honestly
sell
so
that.
good.
We've
Like,
got to
that's
sell
real.
that. Can we
We have-
please sell it a passage of time clock?
We got like 21 items here.
I want to make one so I can have it.
Yeah. Oh, we have the anal passage of enlightenment, which is a great pet toy. You can crawl through there, have fun. Create your own anal passages. Some might just call it a journal, but I think you can create your own. Anal pass in fruit is a beverage flavor. We have a possible sparkling water beverage.
Anal passion fruit.
Using your vernacular, Gavin, we got some running shoes that were called trainers. We got anal trainers. If you need a hat to block out the sun, we have anal cappage. We have a pillow if you need to sleep. Anal passage. Some Z's because you're falling asleep. We have a baseball, so that'd be anal smassage because there's no better thing to hit fingers with than the anal smassage.
The baseball's great.
We got an anal
Looks really
passage.
cool.
An anal passage measurer because it's very important to have the specifics of the size of the passage that you're dealing with. Then we just have the lazily named anal passage bomber jacket. I couldn't think of a funny name. I just thought it looked fucking awesome. I thought that looked great.
Yeah, it's nice.
And closing out our lineup is Anal Issues Pass the Tissues, a Kleenex box sponsored by Anal Passage.
Anal issues.
So your theory is if we sell some of this stuff, we'll become the #1 item of the year?
No, it's, we also have to join the team where if you click, it will go to a link of buying the shirt in the store. I should also mention...
I didn't even realize we were still selling this thing.
The shirt is still available. I'm working on a testimonial video. So if anyone wants to send a testimonial video to me of them wearing the shirt, talking about how it has changed your life becoming an anal passer, email me at andrew@analpassage.com. That is a totally real email, and I am working on getting a video together. So please feel free to send a submission.
I see you're also looking for the perfect fit for a celebrity endorsement.
I am, yeah. So I remembered a long time ago, Macaulay Culkin wore a Rooster Teeth shirt. So I tweeted to him, didn't get a response, so we're still working.
Oh, man.
We're still out there. We're trying to
I
figure
don't
it
think
out.
you could get Macaulay Culkin to wear an anal passage shirt.
Well, he
He's
wore
really-
a Captain Dynamic shirt, so it's,
He's really rebounded since that point, I think.
Oh, you think that was
think
the
he's
low
in a
that
better
he's out
place.
of now? Damn.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I tried. So we're still in the running, but feel free to email me, andrew@analpassage.com.
I've just glanced at the frequently asked questions. There's only 3.
Yep.
First question, why? Because a serious brand deserves a serious website. Second question, what is anal passage? Anal passage is a way of life. 3, do you even like theme parks? I don't understand this question.
I thought it was odd to ask.
But you asked it of yourself.
Well, listen, so I've heard questions about it. I'm just responding to the questions as people have. So
That's
that is my anal
incredible.
passage submission. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it is in consideration maybe one of your favorite things of the year. I hope the
I'm
audience
blown
enjoys it.
away at how actually good some of those fake products look.
Yeah.
They look great.
That baseball.
Like that baseball and that
Honestly-
clock. Amazing.
Honestly, the jet ski cover's not bad either.
It's such a, what I like about that is it's such a niche product.
Yeah.
The concept of a jet ski cover, like I would bet less than 3 people that listen to this have a jet ski.
Hey, if you listen to Face and you own a jet ski, can you email andrew@analpassage.com
Yeah, feel
and let
free.
him know? I'd love to get a tally going of how many jet ski owners we have in the fray. As a jet ski enthusiast myself and aficionado, I'd love to connect with others out there. Just out of curiosity. That's all.
Do we know how many times the anal passage shirt outsold the annual pass shirt? Is that a stat that we
No.
know?
I do not.
Because that's probably a win in itself. What dethroned us?
One of the Uno shirts.
Yeah, it was Uno.
During the age Uno.
Bummer.
Yeah, it is a bummer. But I'm hoping If you buy the shirt because of this and you want to be in the testimonial, I'm going to wait a little bit before putting that together, so you will have time to submit a video if you want to.
It is the shirt is available in extra medium, of course.
It is.
Is it? Are we within striking distance, or do we like how tall is Anal Mountain?
Listen, Anal Mountain is pretty tall. There's a little bit of a gap. It would be even more ridiculous if we were able to pass that point, but I want to get as close as possible, and I want to at least solidify us in the top 3. Because it's a little close to the 3. So as long as top 3 I'm happy with. But if we could reclaim number 1, that'd be fucking ridiculous.
I will say, as an emerging brand, we had a lot of anal heat earlier in the year when we launched that thing, and we really did kind of just let it die on the vine as the year went on. Really, you gotta feed the beast.
The thing with it was we didn't expect it to exist for long. It was supposed to be like kind of a throwaway joke that once Jack noticed we'd remove.
Yeah,
but then it became so big that we couldn't remove it. It was just fun. It was such a great shirt.
That's right. He wanted us to take it down, but it was the number 1 selling item.
It was the number 1. So like, how do you take down the number 1 selling shirt?
That's right. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
it suddenly started paying salaries.
So that is analpassage.com.
That
Andrew,
is magic.
You're a treat, man.
That's the best site you've made so far.
I think so. It's up there. I owe a lot to Tony and my friends as well with helping me coming up with product names. That's fantastic. I'm so glad that came together.
How long did Tony spend on that?
Not shockingly, not long. Like I messaged Tony. It was like 11. It was probably like 11:30 when I messaged him, and I was like, "Hey, this is ridiculous. If you don't want to do this or you're too busy, totally understand. I have these ideas. I suggested the anal passage of time, the anal tunnel of enlightenment, and the create your own anal passages. I was like, could you maybe put some branding on these? And he's like, yeah, I'll get around to it and I'll send it to you tomorrow. I was like, oh, that's perfect. I'll have time for the show. It'll be ready. I woke up and like he had sent me 10 or 11 things immediately by like 8 a.m. the next day. He was on top of it. So I have no idea how long it took him, but he just sent so many things. He killed it.
Yeah,
one of my favorite parts of the site.
Tony's a fucking talented dude.
Incredibly talented.
Hey guys, Major League fan Jack here with a look at next week's episode of Face. Andrew has a new website. Let's look at Gavin's life hacks. Panton tries to make a grilled cheese at his desk. Salt licorice is the worst. Can you think of food shaped like animals? Jeff loves Bozo the Clown and defends Ronald McDonald's honor. What happened to the grimace? Where did the cucumber come from? And once again, Andrew is a huge fan of the Annual Pass podcast, available at youtube.com/annualpass.
Speaking of eating and enjoying things, I wanted to make sure I touched on something within this episode, and it sounds like you have some stories, Jeff, so I'll make this brief. I was talking to Eric a while ago. We've had a video that has been pending for a very long time. I forgot it even existed, then it kind of came back around. But or I guess you guys filmed a fruit throwing video that Gavin had been working on, then it vanished, it came back. It turns out the audio completely fucked on it, and that's why it has never released. It has taken so long. I didn't know this. I think it was something that, Gavin, you forgot why it didn't release, and then you looked at it again and went, oh yeah, this is all the audio is completely fucking ruined. You tried to...
Yeah, there was a definite reason why I kept stopping the editing process, because it was just such a pain. I just could never remember why, that I would open the project again and just be like,
Yeah, it's a nightmare. But it's a fruit throw. It'd be awesome to have it out. We talked about it so much. So I asked Gavin if he could send me the video with all the audio pulled. Like, don't even worry about it. Let's go audioless. And he did that. He asked me a weird question. He said, do you want just the video or do you want the edited version? And I said, I'll take the edited version. And then I said, I didn't expect it to be 17 minutes. That's longer than I thought. And then you said, yeah, I'm going to probably edit it down to 12. So I don't know what I got ultimately.
Well, I hadn't edited any of it. So you got what I cut together for you.
Okay. Well, that's fine. Because I had an idea. I thought, how could we do, what would be a fun way to do this? We have fucked up audio. I haven't seen any of the video. Who do we know that is an all-around expert when it comes to gardening, fruit, real insider analysis? I reached out to TPG.
Oh, fue gizmo.
TPG and I watched the video today and recorded our own commentary track for the 17-minute video. We learned a lot. It was the first time I've interacted with TPG in any way. We had a wonderful time. Nick was there. He provided some insights on the day of. So I don't know if I was going to show you guys the video, but I didn't think it would be 17 minutes long. So
Fucking serious? You've been busy today, dude.
yeah, that's how I spent my morning. So I don't know, Nick, is it finished yet or will it take longer? Where are we at?
I have an export of it that just finished a few minutes ago.
Hell yeah. So you guys can watch it, and if it gets the thumbs up, we can release that, and that solves our audio problem, getting to hear TPG takes, which absolute joy. I love TPG so much. What a character.
That sounds like some fucking phenomenal regulation supplemental content, man.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Yeah.
That Andrew,
That's
thank you for
course.
salvaging that. That's awesome
amazing.
idea.
And I can also definitely put out the real video with real audio if people want that too. There'll be another video we tried to make that has 8 versions for some reason.
Sure. I'm fine with that. It just sounded like it wasn't going to come out, and if it did, like, it may not have been great because it was a nightmare. So I immediately, my head went, why don't TPG and I just do this? So I've been quietly, like, thinking of this and working on it for, like, a week and a half, 2 weeks now. But we got it done today.
Give the same criticisms in your
yeah, I
TPG
did.
commentary?
Yeah. So
Because Andrew was quite critical.
I was. I don't know where Jack is in terms of his status, but it has to be the minor leagues after that video. I commented on it because I wanted to just preview. I wanted my reaction to be genuine for the first time seeing it with TPG. But I watched like the first minute of it, and I asked Gavin, does Jack ever find the zoom? Because you guys throw these small pieces of fruit, and then he shows the throw, but you just can't see anything because he doesn't zoom in.
Can I tell you something about that dude?
Yeah.
He's got a fucking film degree too.
What? That's insane, Jeff. That's insane.
Unexcusable.
That
Well,
is
I would
a
also like to
joke
point
of a
out-
university.
Jeff is a photographer, but if you give him something to film, he will give you footage of him handing the phone back to you. And that's
Yeah, but
what
that's
you'll get.
like Jeffing it up. That's like
Yeah,
part of
it's
his
a
bit.
different level. If I did film it, it would
Jack
look good.
is competent in every way outside of the fact that he doesn't know where the zoom is. He gives me a lot of shit for not eating the pencil yet. Jack is what, 52? Hasn't discovered a zoom functionality.
52.
At least. I mean, he looks great. He's running.
He does. Jack looks really good. He looks really good for 52. I agree.
He does. He looks amazing.
Yeah. He really does.
He keeps talking about this pencil. The man doesn't have a zoom fucking function to save his life, and he has a degree in cameras.
It's all those marathons he runs. They keep you young. You can be over half a century old, but if you run 2 marathons a year, you'd be in jack shape. That's great.
I think that's how it works. Yeah. I mean, he's
So
killing
are
it
we
with the run.
gonna watch that after this, or is it just gonna go up as a video and we can watch
Well,
it?
I figured you guys could look at it, and then if you guys like it, give it the approval, and we can release it. I don't know when this comes out. Maybe it could be like a Friday release on this.
So we'll have
Wednesday.
Fruit Throw,
Yeah.
the Panton cut, and the free cut.
Well, I think
Sure.
we're clearly gonna release it no matter what we think about it, because
Okay.
now we've promoted it, and it's you and TPG, so it's obviously if you recorded it, it's good enough to release. So yeah, we'll just make sure it comes out the week that this episode comes out, which is
Can-
three.
Can you imagine if we teased 2 fruit throwing videos and did not release either
Oh,
of
God.
them?
That's a great point.
That would be. I mean, like, it's just, we'll put this out. It'll come out. They'll both come out, I guess.
I mean, what other podcast offers a commentary by a guy who wasn't there and another guy from the sales department?
And it's commentary on the largely unedited version of the final.
It's a rough cut commentary.
It was a great time. TPG is a legend in countless ways. Please watch his Green Life channel.
So was this the first time you spoke to him?
Yes, like audibly, yes.
And I've seen you try and make small talk with members of the company. Did it flow, or was it really?
Oh no, it was great.
Like was
yeah.
it Fuegismo, or was it awful?
Oh, it was Fuegismo. Yeah, absolutely Fuegismo. 100%.
Hey guys, Major League fan Jack here with a look at next week's episode of Face. Who looked at the pubes? We need standing desks. Andrew makes an apology. Andrew immediately deflects blame. Jeff finds nudity in the strangest of places. We've got puppies. And once again, Andrew does not eat the pencil. All that and more on next week's episode of Face.
I don't know if you saw, Jeff. Jack's been swinging at me a little bit. He was unhappy.
What does that mean?
Oh, Jeff, or I don't know why I said Jeff. Jack does the Inside Gaming thing, and he was listening to the podcast and heard that I guess I was wrong about him being 51 and insulting his fruit filming ability. So he wasn't happy about that. He provided some good reasons why. I circled back with Gavin. So I wrote an apology I'd like to quickly read on my behalf to Jack, because it was unfair what I said.
Very kind of you.
Yeah, well, it's the first thing I'm going to do is because when he does his previews, he looks at the images for context. So I wrote a fake apology first. So I'm going to post that in. So he'll see that one if he wants to rap.
Should we read this out loud? Or
Yeah, if you want, you can.
I'm sorry, Jack. That's in bold, big letters.
Yep.
I came at you for something that wasn't your fault. I was told by Gavin that I had received the final cut, but it was actually a rough cut. As someone who doesn't know a lot about filming or editing, this led to criticism that wasn't fair. You are a wonderful person with so much talent, and I am sincerely sorry for questioning your major league status. You have never looked more youthful, and I hope you can forgive me despite my minor league actions.
That's my apology that he'll see. I wrote something else that I'd like to read very quickly. Also titled Jack Apology. I sit here with you all today, bottomless but full-hearted, in my need to issue an apology to none other than Jack Shannon Patillo, also commonly known as Minor League Jack, Major League Jack, and Valentine Hotel owner. In a recent episode, I was under the false belief that you were 51 years old, but that was incorrect. You're an undeniably youthful 42. I hope you know that my incorrect assumption had nothing to do with your wrinkled face, but was simply a miscalculation due to your wisdom beyond your years. As someone who shares your prune-like appearance due to my addiction of tubbing, I am jealous that I lack your wisdom and can only hope to be as thoughtful as you in the future. As far as my claims of being bad at filming fruit, I've since learned that couldn't be further from the truth. You said you would like to see me do better, and I admit I could not. The camera on my phone was designed in 1905, and I do not have the knowledge or vast experience that you do when it comes to capturing moving images. Unlike you, I cannot say that I'm 42 and have been on set for several top productions, ranging from Twilight Vamps to music videos such as The Dusk Boys' UFO. My declaration that you were bad at fruit director was not said from a position of me feeling citrus superiority, but came from a trusting of Gavin. I was told by Gavin that I was sent the final edit, but what I was actually sent was a rough cut. I hope you can forgive my misguided criticism. You will always be my top choice to film fruit. That is my Jack apology. Just had to get that out of the way before we continue. Not 52 or 51, 42. Much different. A youthful 42.
Oh, God. That's one of the better apologies.
Oh, yeah. Sharing a wrinkled appearance is like, what a fucking dig.
Well, no, it's listen, man. I get all pruny in the tub.
Yeah, but you can unprune when you get out.
He can't.
Well, Jack isn't pruny. I'm jokes. It's just jokes.
Yeah.
Jack could iron his skin.
Jack's great.
Oh, man.
I love Jack.
Clearly.
So I just wanted to make sure I covered that.
I was telling Jack that I appreciate that he didn't try and zoom, because if he missed the fruit, there's nothing I can do about it. But if he doesn't zoom at all, I can just zoom in post.
Yeah, well, I assumed the cut that I got, because when I asked Gavin for this, the way that the fruit thing was described to me, and why we have multiple versions, was that the actual audioed version would never release, and it was completely fucked. That's how was my understanding. So I asked for an edited version, or I just asked for the video. And Gavin asked me, do you want the final cut, or do you just want a rough cut? And I thought, well, I might as well take a final cut, if that's an option.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't actually exist, though. Like, I had to do it.
Yeah, but you told me, and then like 4 or 5 days went by, and then you're like, finish the thing. Here, take it. And then I talked to you about this, and you replied, yeah, well, I did it in my edit. And I was like, what are you talking about, your edit?
Well,
you sent me the final
kept saying
cut.
you needed it. I didn't give it to you the next day. You were like, I need that video when you're done. So I cut something together for you because we were about to
this was
record.
not.
I gave you something.
This,
We were about to do a recording, so I figured you needed it for that. So I pulled together what I could in the time, and then I made improvements after the
there
fact.
was no rush for you to send that to me. Let me look at our chats. You're acting like I'm fucking every day going, where's the fruit video?
I mean, that was the vibe I got.
I can't believe you're letting Jack off the hook because you were scared he wouldn't be able to frame properly. He's got a degree in film. He's worked in the industry for like fucking 18 years. What you just described, we could have replaced him with a Ring door camera. If you don't want him to move or follow the action at all in any way.
He followed the action. He just didn't pinch to zoom as he was tracking it through the air.
We got to
be
get some
fair.
Ring door cameras.
For the next week on coming up next week on Face, for the next week, should we just put ding dong?
Oh, no, all kidding aside, it sounds like you guys have a pretty heated situation you got to work out here.
I don't know where this is coming from.
Hey guys, Major League fan Jack here with a look at next week's episode of Face. All that and more on next week's episode of Face. Hey guys, Major League fan Jack here with a look at next week's episode of Face. The usual suspects are back. Did you know Schwarzenegger was Russian? Andrew needs his bedtime. The gang discusses new movies. Gracie learns some Panton lore. Gracie learns not to doubt Gavin. More food talk. And once again, Andrew does not eat the pencil, or walk the marathon, or live up to any of the bets he ever lost. But at least he's really good at making claims and not being able to back them up. All that and more on next week's episode of Face. Hey guys, Major League fan Jack here with a look at next week's episode of Face. Toothpaste life hacks. It's cold outside. Eyeballs are weird. Did you know a marathon is roughly 65,000 steps that Andrew hasn't taken yet? Who remembers the Animorphs? Let's make some beverages. Is it time for another Halo bet? And once again, Andrew does not eat the pencil. All that and more on next week's episode of Face.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Face Podcast. My name is Jeff Ramsey, and with me, as always, a very unemployed Andrew Panton, a very unemployed Gavin Free, a very unemployed Eric Badur, a very unemployed Gracie Flynn, and a very unemployed Nick Short, and a very unemployed Jeff Ramsey. How's everybody doing? This is 198.
Reason for termination, job elimination. I always thought it would be much cooler than that. Yeah. I thought it'd be funnier.
Hey guys, Major League fan Jack here with a look at next week's episode of Face. Once again, due to reasons the boys haven't recorded yet. So in lieu of that, a poem by Dylan Thomas. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rage at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Though wise men at their inn know dark is right, because their words had forked no lightning, they do not go gentle into that good night. Good men, the last wave by, crying how bright their frail deeds might have danced in a green bay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Wild men who caught and sang the sun in flight, and learned too late, they grieved it on its way, do not go gentle into that good night. Brave men near death, who see with blinding sight, blind eyes could blaze like meteors and be gay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. And you, my father, there on the sad height, curse, bless me now with your fierce tears, I pray. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. And once again, Andrew does not eat the pencil. All that and more on next week's episode of Face.
I remember the moment where I was like, maybe I could work at Rooster Teeth. Maybe I could be there and like be funny. Because on the Rooster Teeth podcast once, Jack made a joke that I made in a tweet, and it made everyone on the podcast laugh. And I don't know if he just saw my tweet and recited it, or whether he also came up with the same thing. But I was like, oh, maybe I could make them laugh. Maybe I should go there and be on that.
And that was like a real moment for you?
Yeah.
What was the joke?
Oh, it was about that movie, 2012. I tweeted something like, they should have called that movie I'm Glad I'm Not Where I Was 8 seconds ago, or something like that. And it just made everyone on the podcast laugh, and I thought that was my joke. It's not a very good joke.
Yeah, but he still stole it from you. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if he stole that.
I think deep down, I think you think he did.
No, I know Jack. I'm pretty sure he probably stole it.
I should after 15 years just ask him. There's no way anyone. You can't really. After so much time, you can't really challenge people at it because no one remembers anything they've said.
Yeah. That's
Luckily, there's tapes. Just fucking play it for him and go like, all right, in this moment, what do you think? Do you think are you being very funny right now, or are you being a thief?
Maybe I should record a bit with him and just play him the clip.
That would be awesome.
Where'd you get that from?
Dude, if you could lay that out for him and go, all right, we recorded this on September 3rd, 2008 or whatever. And then and then I tweeted on September 1st. I've verified you were following me.
We got to look at the likes on the tweet. Maybe there's evidence.
You liked it on the second, you son of a bitch. Oh, man.
That's very funny you had that.
I got a clip.
Oh, what?
Oh,
wow. Gavin coming in hot.
Coming in hot with a clip, just because it's been a part of the plot for a while. A recording,
a plot for a while
from the Rooster Teeth podcast.
Oh,
episode 39. Here we go.
But it's a 2.5 hour long movie.
You just described every Roland Emmerich movie.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like, the animators had a field day with that. Like, okay, we need you to blow up Las Vegas by, an earthquake and sandstorm. Okay.
Spoiler alert.
Jeez, it's in the trailer. Come on now.
Oh, no, I'm ruined.
It's like, that whole movie is, thank God we weren't standing where we were 10 seconds ago. Like, that's the whole movie. Like,
different joke.
We were 10 seconds.
That's a different joke?
Totally different.
Oh, my God.
How's that a different joke?
Let me post your joke.
Okay.
Listen, I'm not necessarily a fan of jumping
Jack's
in front
defendant
of this
here.
bullet of Jack. Let me.
He's the offender and Jack's defendant. It's a different side of Andrew.
Andrew Panton is the official offender defendant.
Oh, no, that's the wrong. Sorry, wrong.
Is that the sloppy pace?
That was the wrong one. That's Alan Wake 2.
It's the guy's dick in Alan Wake.
Why'd you
I
always do
hit
that?
the
It's
wrong
always a
button.
dick.
That's the exact same
Oh,
fucking
no, yeah.
joke.
Yeah, it was. Never mind. I was wrong. I was wrong with that. I remember that incorrectly.
The tweet is, well, Gavin, you can say it. It's your fucking words.
The tweet was 2012 should have been called I'm glad I'm not 10 feet behind where I am right now.
Man,
Yeah.
I have.
The funny thing is, though, there's also a clip from the Rooster Teeth podcast, episode 63.
Really?
About 6 months later. Check this out.
someone wrote that that movie's like, thank God I wasn't standing there 10 seconds ago, the movie. Because like everything like gets blown up or destroyed right behind them as they're like driving.
Oh, no.
Someone wrote.
Oh,
It became an original comment and then became someone wrote. I've also learned that Jeff really likes that joke. He laughed both times.
Well, that makes sense. It was your joke. I like you. You're funny. I think you. I think you are the most entertaining person I've ever met. That's why I work with you. So it stands to reason that Jack, like poorly ripping you off, would still be amusing to me because it's still your comedy.
Oh, that's a nice level of consistency.
To be clear, Gavin's tweet is the 18th of November of 2009, and episode 39 of the Rooster Teeth podcast is December 9th, 2009. I mean, just mere weeks.
After
That
I
is.
mentioned it, Jack texted me saying, I don't think I stole your 2012 joke, ? But then afterwards he wrote, but that was 20 years ago, so maybe.
I'm completely off Jack's defense. I am stepping away from it entirely.
Bold move by the defense to say that was a totally different joke.
Yeah, well,
I mean, to be fair, not a very original joke. I'm sure a bunch of people watched that movie and thought the exact same thing.
I'm
So
pretty
maybe-
sure you're the only one. I'm on your side now. Definitely yours, and only yours.
Does that ever happen in court where the defense walks over to the prosecution and they just sit next to each other?
Listen, I'm a vibes guy. I've just been feeling the vibes of this courtroom, and I've been swayed. I've moved through. Information has come out. I came in as a middle lawyer, and I got to say it's on your side.
This is the whole point of discovery, as they say. So,
Yes.
we could find out all the dirty secrets and truths, and they can come to light, and then we can find out the reality of the situation, which is that Jack. What year was that again? 2012?
2009.
2009. That Jack in 2009 is exactly as annoying as Jack in 2024, and still a thief.
No. I like that closes out a 15-year storyline. It's not bad. It's like the old Halo overkill.
How do you feel about it?
How do I feel?
Yeah, because you say it like this has been on everyone's collective mind for 15 years. This is a thing that you've been holding internally for that time.
Okay, I've been thinking about it for 15 years, but this company, like public plot-wise, it's been about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But, a good one to close out before the company ends entirely.
Before the company closes out. Yeah, how does that? Do you feel like the biggest sense of completion?
No. Well, I mean, I think it's funny.
It is funny.
I don't care either way, really. Just a dumb tweet.
I shouldn't say that Jack's a thief. I'm just making a joke.
He kind of said he was.
Hey guys, Major League fan Jack here with a look at next week's episode of Face. And once again, Andrew never ate the pencil. All that and more was on this series called Face.